Kate Hahn with TV Insider, and we are speaking with Millie Alcock and Emily Carey, stars of the new Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon.
Do you think the Ram will ever accept me as their queen?
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne, because that is the order of things.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
Well, Millie, one of the things that your character, one of the places your character is so happy is when she is riding her dragon Syrinx. Tell us about Princess Rhaenyra and why it makes her so happy, so free to be a dragon rider.
I think Rhaenyra loves riding the dragon is because of the freedom that it gives her. She's very visible within her everyday life. She's very regulated by rules and what she can and can't do, and keeping up with appearances, like socially, and all of her duties that she has to do. So I think that she finds this kind of peace when she's riding the dragon. So I think it's that freedom that she loves.
And Emily, your character, Alicent Hightower, she's highborn. She's not a Targaryen, though, so she's not a dragon rider. So obviously you never get to ride dragons together. But tell us about her and why these two young women are such good friends.
I think Rhaenyra and Alicent are put together through circumstance. They're as close as you can get to sisters without actually being sisters. They've sort of grown up together. But I think what makes them so close is the fact that they are complete polar opposites in how they perceive the world and the people around them. And I think they first of all find a lot of comfort in each other, but they also have a huge amount of respect for each other when we first find them. And they learn a lot about themselves through each other, if that makes sense. And of course, the relationship then, as we know, will eventually deteriorate. But what makes it so heartbreaking is seeing how close that they originally were.
Well, so Emily, go into that a little bit more. Tell us about Alicent's personality and how Rhaenyra's personality complements that or teaches her things.
So Alicent is a rule follower. She is very big on what's right and wrong and duty versus heart, which is something that we see her battle throughout the entire show. Whereas Rhaenyra is a bit more free-spirited, but Alicent is acutely aware of her place in the world due to the fact that she's constantly with Rhaenyra, in the sense of, as you said, she's highborn, she's raised in court, but she isn't a Targaryen. So she's constantly that one peg down. So she's very aware and very conscious in ways that Rhaenyra isn't. And she's sort of blissfully unaware of a lot of things. So I think that's kind of where they can have conflict, but at the same time do balance each other out. They give each other a different perspective.
Well, Millie, tell us more about Princess Rhaenyra and that this friendship and why she needs Alicent so much in her life.
I think she needs Alicent in her life because she's the only other person who really understands what she's gone through. They both grew up in similar circumstances, being highborn and being young women and the daughters of difficult fathers. So I think that they really lent on each other, and they really had this childhood that coexisted. So all of their memories are shared, which I think is something that's really valuable in everyone's life.
Well, talk about difficult fathers. Rhaenyra's father is King Viserys, played by Paddy Considine. What makes that relationship tough or interesting?
Well, it makes it tough because he's got to parent the kingdom. You know what I mean? So it's like he has to ultimately put that first. And I think that Viserys is a great king. He's a hopeless father. He loves her and adores her, but he just doesn't know how to talk to her. He doesn't know how to talk to women. And I think that that Rhaenyra is a lot closer to her mother than to King Viserys. So we get to see their relationship unravel and develop throughout the series, which is really interesting.
Right. Well, Emily, Alicent is the daughter of Otto Hightower, played by Rhys Ifans, and he is the King Viserys's hand, or his assistant, his number one advisor. So tell us about that father-daughter relationship.
I think their relationship is incredibly complex. There's so many layers to it. One of the big sort of themes in the show, I guess, is what's done through love and what's actually done through duty or for self-gain. And I think Alicent and Otto are a prime example of that. And whenever they want to say that they love each other or that they miss each other, it just ends up in an argument. They're both very fiery people. They're both very like-minded. And the journey that this relationship goes on, at least from Alison's perspective, I think we forget that our parents are people. I think we forget that it's their first time like doing life as well. And I think Alison comes to realize that throughout, and she realizes that maybe he isn't all she thought that he was, if that makes sense. And that's sort of where their relationship grows. But it was so much fun to play. There was so much to it, and Reese is incredible.
This shoot was huge. There's this huge anticipation from all the book readers, from all the fans of the show Game of Thrones. How did you all feel going into it? Did you feel any pressure when you started shooting?
No. Emily, did you? The biggest grossing in the world? No pressure at all?
Not at all.
I was thinking, no, cool as a cucumber, completely calm. No, all of us are terrified. I think it's worse now because everyone keeps reminding us how big of a deal it is. And when we were going into it, we were kind of given this grace period of completely indulging and rehearsing and being like, we're making a new show. We're just kind of, getting to work together as actors within the scene. But now it's about the big picture, and it's completely overwhelming.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I remember on day one of rehearsals, Bill Patterson, who is legendary actor, he's like in his 70s, been working since he was literally like 6 or 7 years old. When he is
icon, like
as professional as you could possibly get. And he turns around in his little Scottish accent and goes, I'm so nervous. And we were like, you're nervous? And he was like, yeah, this is huge. And we were like, if Bill's nervous, then you know that it's big. But I think on a show like this, you're reminded every day just by stepping onto the sets how mammoth they are as to how big the show is. There's not a single day where we weren't reminded that it's big. But as Millie said, now is when it's all sort of coming in, because when we were shooting, we had things to distract ourselves with. It's like, okay, it's big, but you've got to ground yourself and you focus and you get the job done. Whereas now it's just like, it's coming out now. It's crazy. I just hope people like it.
Well, more success to come. So thank you, Millie Alcock and Emily Carey, for speaking with me today for TV Insider. House of the Dragon premieres Sunday, August 21st on HBO and HBO Max. For more Insider videos like this, click subscribe.